Alrighty. Hello everybody. This is Kirusho here, and now, before we do start, let us give a brief little review. In the last part, a number of things have happened. We had Deku. We also had Mina. Now, these two, they learned about their grandfather's past a bit. Deku, he learned that his grandfather Kentaro, and Mina learned that her grandfather Mark, these two were the Plumbers. They are part of an alien organization. The organization, known as the Plumbers, they found Earth a long time ago, and they have been making efforts to show the universe aliens exist. Earth right now is still somewhat primitive. However, it could be useful later down the line in the far future. And that does mean quite a lot. Now, Deku learned that his grandfather, he took his job seriously. He sat Deku down and explained what was happening. There are people after him. The thing on his wrist, known as the Omnitrix, is a dangerous weapon. In the wrong hands, it could help destroy the universe. In the right hands, it can help save the universe. And Deku, yeah. After learning that there was somebody after the watch, they got a bit of an alert. There is something on Earth and in the forest nearby, checking where the Omnitrix used to be. So, they're after the watch. They came to Earth, and Deku, he needs to take action to save the planet. Who knows what happens if this thing falls into a villain's hands? Who knows what happens if the world is taken over by aliens and they don't know how to defend against it? They can try, but compared to some of the stuff out in space, humans, they would not stand a chance. Now, Deku and Mina, these two have teamed up and are currently driving through the forest at night with helmets on their heads, headlamps, and the ATV's lights. It right now is giving them a lot of illumination, and they are searching for the strange thing in the forest. Now, currently Deku, he does somewhat drive. Him at least trying to talk about it with Mina. He didn't realize that Gramps was so serious right now. Mina doesn't want to sit there. Her talking about it a bit. She always thought that Grandpa was a bit crazy sometimes. Some of the stories he'd tell, some of the things that he would eat, but it all kind of does somewhat make sense now. Though, the idea that they work with the aliens is kind of weird, right? I don't know. Honestly, it's a bit strange. But, anything on your watch? No, it doesn't look like... Wait a minute. What is it? Her's going to lean forwards. Her going to throw her hand out for Deku to see. And on the watch, Deku doesn't see it. As they are driving by, there is something on the watch that shows an object on it. And Deku, he does a look up. Them currently driving under one of the drones as it does not turn. Its sensor is picking something up that's moving rapidly away from it. And currently Deku, he does just don't stare at the thing. Them, so I'm going to slow down as the robot, it does actually turn, blasting towards him as Deku, he does not rev up the engine again. Mina going to turn and grab at Deku. As she currently does turn around and stare at the robot. The beam flying at the ground and smashing close to them, as it will explode, setting up dust. Now, currently Deku is starting to drive the ATV, and Mina herself is trying to somewhat stay steady. Her going to actually somewhat spin around and somewhat talk about with Izuku. As she does this, bring up her hand and yell for their grandpas about what they found. Now, there currently is Deku and Mina. As Kentaro and Mark, they were talking on a private line. However, whenever a message popped up on their watches, they both answered it, hearing Mina someone scream about a robot that is attacking them. And the two did not like that. Now, the robot currently does get a strange scan, and whenever it does find the energy signature for the Omnitrix, it does go to alert the other robots. As right now the other bot does go flying through the forest, as currently Mina does go to spin. Her going to look around and see the robot. Her going to actually somewhat grab downwards grabbing the bar and going to actually start spin around. Deku, a bit confused, actually starts to sit down backwards on the ATV. Her gonna bring her hands, and going to actually send out a blast that does go to attack the robot. Now, the robot does a dodge, it firing back at her as she has to bring up her hands. Her going to do so and create a wall in front of them. The laser beam going to actually blast off of it, and Deku doesn't feel the force. It shaking the ATV as Deku does look down at his watch. Him bringing his hand down and pressing the button on it. As another action remains as his own turn. Her hearing that sound as Deku he's not looking in front of them. Her going to scream and as Deku does look up. Him seeing a tree as this does turn and shift the entire ATV. One of them is going to actually avoid the tree and fly downwards into a ditch. As currently Deku is sent flying through the air off of the ATV, Amina is doing the same. Her actually trying to turn and bring out her hands screaming. And Deku, he actually doesn't want to turn. Him looking down at his watch as he's actually thrown it in his hand. Right now, him flying through the air, hitting the watch, and going to turn into an alien. As Reno, Deku just smashed into the ground after he does a land. And Deku, he actually does go look around. Him yelling out for Mina. And Mina does actually something to set up. Her a bit hurt. And currently Deku, he has a look to see the robots. As Mina does turn her head and see... What is that? Now, Deku does a look around. Him staring at the aliens and trying to figure out a few things. However, he's more concerned about... Well, what he turned into. Crap. Now, there's a flap into the air. As Ren of the alien, Stingfly, it does go to move through the air. And the robots, they do try and give chase. Mina gonna actually try and bring up her hand, as she's gonna feel it a bit hurt. Right now, herself gonna bring her hand down and grab at her arm. As there actually is Deku, who currently, he does gonna fly through the air. Him thinking about what to do. Okay, they got robots. Robots, right, and he just happened to turn into the alien he hasn't figured out yet. Though, he can fly. That's a good thing. Now, currently the aliens just try to blast, or currently the robots just try to blast. Currently the robots just try to blast lasers at the alien. There we go. Now, Deku, he currently is trying to make his way through the forest, as the larger robot is still trying to make his way closer and closer to where these two are. And Deku, he actually doesn't slow down. The robot's flying right past him and trying to turn and blast lasers at him. As right now one of them, they do actually blast a laser beam right into the other one, blowing it up. And Deku does his own turn. Him going to stare at the alien and fly forwards. Him actually going to grab onto the robot and grab at its arm. It's going to try and blast it with a laser as Deku does push it out of the way. And currently Deku just stare down at it, as he does not feel strange. Him going to sneeze, as right now Deku, he does actually shoot out goo directly from his eyes. And Deku, he's a bit more surprised. Currently, him going to actually watch the robot get covered as he's going to let go of it. The robot going to actually fly forwards to the air and so going to move down. It smashed right into a tree and going to explode. And Deku's to look around. Okay, he did it. He won. Oh god, the forest. Now, the forest currently does get torn up and has some fire spreading throughout it. And Deku, he's not too sure what to do. I mean, there's fire over there, there's fire over there, there's fire over there. Mina. Now, Deku's gonna try and fly down. Him gonna try and shoot the goo out of his eyes to put out the fire. However, Deku, when it is gonna find out that the goo, it's kind of working, but it's a bit hard, and he doesn't have too much experience with this alien, so Mina is the best priority right now. Now, Deku's gonna fly through the air. Him eventually gonna land, and as Mina does a look up at him. Izuku, you... Oh god, you stink! It's not my fault. You smell like you rolled around in the garbage. And bathed in raw eggs. It's not my fault. I mean, it's this... thing. Alright. You okay, Mina? I'm fine. Though, my arm really hurts. Now, Deku's gonna walk forwards. Him going to actually grab onto Mina, as currently he's a flap into the air. And right now Mina does try to talk about it. Talking about how they took down the robots. However, they kind of got a bit hurt. Now, currently they are trying to head back to the house, and Deku, as he is heading back, he does actually hear a sound. Him turning his head and seeing something flying towards him. Ash and he does a fly down into the woods. As Mina is confused, and Deku, he actually doesn't throw her up into the air. Her a bit surprised as Deku to fly upwards and catch her on his back. Her confused and turning around. Her screaming, seeing the missiles coming at them, as Deku does someone fly forwards fast, back down into the forest, trying to evade the attack. Now, some of the trees do to block the missiles. Deku flying by as Mina does someone turn and bring up her good arm. Her blasting out towards the missiles and going to actually take down one of the ones that were just a bit more persistent. Now, they are a lot more alarmed, and Mina is ready to yell back that there's another robot. As you know, Mark and Kentaro are a bit more surprised. And Deku, he currently does get further and further away from the forest, and the fire it already has broken out has begun to rage on. Now, the nearby town has already sent out fire department, or fire rescue and the fire services, along with emergency services in case there are any campers nearby. And Deku, when they do go to head back to the house, things aren't really too good. Right now, the area is considered a hotspot, and Deku, yeah. He decided after he started hearing that beeping to get a bit closer to the ground. Eventually, the two, they were picked up by their grandparents, and they got back to the house. Mina's arm will be okay. I mean, from what they can tell, it's not a fracture, but it's more of a sprain. She landed pretty heavily on her arm. And that's at least good that they were able to get away with that. But Deku, he did feel bad. Mina, though, she was kind of happy to be flying through the air, but the smell of, well, boiled rotten eggs wasn't really a big plus. And Deku, he was someone talking about it. The next time the Omnitrix recharged, Deku was already ready to head back out. Not only to get the ATV in the forest, but trying to take down this third robot. I mean, Stinkfly worked pretty well on those two. I mean, that's at least what he thinks he's to call that stinking fly. Yeah, that works. Okay, but forearms? No. He's not the right one for this. If it's another flying drone, then not forearms. No, not this ghost-looking one. I mean, maybe this accelerator guy, or this running guy. No, but I mean that one. What's this one? No, there's a stare down at it. He still hasn't tried the Cillian out yet. I mean, he can. Maybe he should. No, save that one for later, right? Okay, so not the diamond guy. What does this guy do? Maybe. Okay, but not this guy, not this guy. Okay, so he only knows what a few of these guys really do. Okay, but maybe. Right. Now, currently Ken is at a walkout, seeing Deku somewhat fidgeting with the watch a bit, and Deku's a bit nervous, as he is also sit down asking if Deku's okay. I'm fine, Gramps. I'm just. There's another robot in the forest. I need to get it. I need to make sure it can't hurt anyone. I see. Already worried about that. I am, yeah. Right. I can understand it. Him bring his hand down, pressing onto his watch, as right now a radio broadcast is to play. It playing on an emergency services channel. It talking about the fire raging on in the forest, and how they're not too sure as to yet what the cause of it might be. From what they can tell, this looks to be ballistics. I mean, some of the trees are damaged and some of the stuff here doesn't make sense. But a lot of the stuff is very well burned. And the area that they can tell so far might be compromised is this room that we broadcast is someone started to cut out. Deku a little more confused. as he has to hear a loud explosion, and right now Kentaro does a turn, staring down at his watch. Him bringing his hand down, going to quickly press the button. I don't believe that was. They're okay, right, Gramps? I. I don't know. Izuku, listen, let me go to the RV. I'm gonna stand up and telling Izuku, stay here. I'll be right back. Now, Deku watched the man walk away, and currently Deku, he has to sit there. Him trying to figure this out a bit. And right now Deku, he does that think. Another robot. I mean, the diamond-headed guy? Diamond Head. He can fire projectiles. He found that out, and it was really cool. So, okay, there's that, but maybe Wild Mutt? No. Well, I mean, it's a forest, so a wild dog makes sense, but, okay. Yeah, no, Wild Mutt. Deku's gonna look down. Him bring his hand up and smashing down. As currently there actually is Kentaro's gonna walk around and see Deku, who currently does this one let out a wild scream and turn. Him staring at his Gramps. As Rennie's always gonna walk over and Kentaro's gonna bring his hand up. Whoa, boy. Ugh. Been brushing your teeth, Izuku? Now, this doesn't make a sound. And currently Kentaro, he doesn't want to understand. Him currently is going to climb on Deku's back as it is a turn. Him currently running into the forest. Now, there actually is Mark, who doesn't hear Kentaro talk about how right now Ken and his grandson are heading back out to try and find the third robot. And right now, Mark is a bit concerned. And Mina is actually someone a bit more worried. I mean, she could have taken on the robot, right? Handled it. If it wasn't for Izuku, no, he was trying to use the watch and she could be mad at her friend. But I mean, if he just paid attention a bit more, he would have not done that. Drive them off into a fucking ditch? Now, Mina's a bit angry. However, right now she actually is more concerned about what's going on. And Mark, he does explain about how people can make mistakes. And Mina is trying to understand that. However, her arm really hurts. Now, there currently is Deku. Right now he is running through the forest. And there actually is where Gramps, he is not talking about it. Where the fire originated from. And where emergency services say they were last transponding from. Now, currently Deku and Ken do get to hear a sound. And while Mark is tending to Mina, that leaves these two on their own. Now, currently Deku does a run up. Him going to see a giant robot, as he does actually turn and let Gramps off. And now the old man does going to run forwards. Him right now going to turn and bring up his gun, blasting away at the robot as there actually is Deku, who does actually start to run. Him running towards the robot and up towards his leg. Him leaping in the air and smashing onto the side. Him going to actually claw into it as well as a turn. It bringing its hand down and smashing onto the side, grabbing at Deku, pulling him up into the air and smashing him down. After that, Deku, he actually is a lot more alarmed. Him's laying there for a second and going to actually spin around. Him hearing something charging as he actually does turn and run to get under the robot. Him going to actually stop and turn and leap into the air. Him grabbing into it and I'm going to bite into the side of it and trying to pull off some wires. Now, there actually is the robot, which does try to turn and grab its arms. Deku actually is going to grab onto the panels and jump up higher. Now, Deku just jump up to the middle of the robot's back. And currently the robot is trying to spin around and get Deku off of it. However, right now it does do one thing. It does spin its body around more and more. It trying to get Deku to get off the ride. And currently Deku, he does stay on. Him with his teeth firmly planted inside the metal, as right now Deku, he does get to its head. him starting to actually bite into and rip apart wires. And the robot, it is actually trying its best to stay together. Now, there currently is our Deku. He does start biting into more and more of the wires on its head, scratching into it and ripping apart some of the metal. And there actually is our Deku. He's going to find something strange. Him finally is going to grab at something and actually going to start claw away at it. As the robot is going to make a sound and is going to start moving to the side. Deku actually hearing the robot do a few things. As currently is going to move backwards, smashing into the wall. Deku is smashing and as the robot is going to turn, throwing out its fist, smashing at Deku. Deku being struck again, Astronaut is going to grab at him and turn. It's going to throw Deku down to the ground and blast at him. And currently Deku is flying through the air and smashing onto the ground. While Mutt going to actually get back up and shake itself off. Deku turning up to the robot. Astronaut the robot is actually having the top half spin uncontrollably in different directions. It's going to stop and spin the opposite direction again. The arms actually starting to flail. And right now, Gramps doesn't watch on, and it's still blasting away at the robot, which is going to activate its laser. Right now, it's going to cut a stream across the top of the forest, and right now cut into the mountain. And right now, when it does cut into the mountain, the rocks do start to pile its way towards it, smashing into the robot. A massive one hitting into it, as the robot is smashed into the ground. And Deku, he's going to run forwards. Right now, him attacking the top of the robot that is covered in the rubble and with its head exposed. Deku trying to batter into it and take the thing down. As currently their actions with the robot start to make a sound. Him a bit more surprised as the robot starts to beep. And Deku does a turn. Him running over and grabbing his grandpa. Him pecking the man up with his teeth as right now he has a turn and run to the forest. As the robot does explode. Now, currently as Deku is running, there is Grandpa. Who, right now, he actually is trying to tell Deku about what to do. Set him down! And Deku, he just keeps running. He knows how dangerous the forest might be right now. I mean, the entire forest above is on fire, and things aren't too good. Right now with Zuko, he feels a bit of pain in his body, and it doesn't feel too good. That was the hardest he's ever been hit, and right now with the fire raging above and his senses all blaring, he knows that they're in danger. And now Deku, he is going to finally hear that beeping he so does not want to hear. As right now with Deku, he does actually going to try and stop himself. There actually is that he does a turn back into a human, and now him and Ken do go rolling forwards. Now, the two do eventually crash down and land on some branches, which the robot already did cut off the top of the trees. Now, Deku, he actually is going to sit up looking at his Gramps. And now the man, he does something to turn, looking at Zuko. Him looking at the top of the woods and seeing that the fire is trying to spread more. Him going to bend down and grab Deku, ask him if he's okay. As right now Deku does get onto his feet and somewhat turn and run. As the two try and head back to the house. Now, right now things, they're a bit strange. And Ken, he is happy that Izuku, he did take down his first giant robot. I mean, yeah, it's not a good thing, but hey, he's at least shown that he can handle things, though his teamwork skills, they definitely need to improve. Now, Morik wanted to talk about it with Ken, and the two, they have come to one conclusion. Deku and Mina are a bit of a special case right now. I mean, Izuku's protecting the Omnitrix, one of, if not the, most dangerous weapon that they know of right now. And the fact that someone wants it is not good. So, what they're gonna do right now is get on the move. Hopefully, head to a plumber's base and get Deku and Mina some proper training and a safe place to stay. I mean, they know a place, but is it still active, is the question. If it is it still good to use? And if it isn't, can they get it up and running? I mean, technically it is on private property, so there is that, though. They spend the whole summer there. Izuku's going to spend his 11th birthday in a secret military place. Hmm. Maybe after the summer, or no, Izuku should. If they stay here, this place will be burned down. Those things already know that they're here. They know that they're close by. Get on the move and not stay so close. Though, it does make him wonder. If these things are out there, is. Shit. Where's Eileen? Is she alright? No contact from her ship, no nothing. Just silence. And that's bad. Okay. Maybe she is fine. Maybe she just hasn't. You're, you're getting yourself worked up, Ken. You're getting yourself worked up. Right. Come on. Figure this out and help the boy. Don't see it as that bad yet. It could be worse. Though he really shouldn't have just said that. Now, Rhino Kintaro, he is trying to do what he can, thinking about his options. Deku would be better left on the move right now. And Rhino Deku, he is somewhat trying to understand this entire situation. As Rhino Amina is somewhat going to sit there with an ice pack on her arm, Deku is recounting the battle. Him somewhat sitting there talking about how, and then the robot just went boom whenever he ran off. And Mina isn't going to laugh. Her asking if it was really that big. And if he really thought Wildmutt would be the best one for that one. I mean, yeah, crap, it hasn't recharged yet, but I need to look at a few of these other aliens. I mean, see what that one ghost one does. Ugh. You think it's an actual ghost? I'm not sure, really. Now, Deku press down the button. Mina, watching as Deku, does finally hear a ding. Hem looking down and pressing the button again. Hem currently someone going to turn the watch and look at a few of these things. As he does see the one that looks a bit tiny. And around Deku, he does go to look at gray matter. Hem is going to turn and point out about how this one, he hasn't tried it out yet. Do you really think that you should try that one? I don't know. He looks bigger than forearms in the picture, right? So, is he huge? I don't know. You sure you want to try him? Maybe he'll turn into a giant. Now, Deku, he currently does go to turn and quickly run outside. Reno Ken gonna turn seeing Deku do so, thinking that Izuku might have panicked a bit. And Reno, the man, does a turn, running out, seeing Deku. As Reno Deku does a stand there talking about it. Gramps should probably stay back. He might turn into a giant. Deku's smashing on the watch. The man bringing his hand up against the blinding light and gonna look back down towards Izuku. Wait. Izuku? I'm right here, Grandpa. The man looking around, before looking down. And Deku does also bring his hands up. It would seem that this one is not what I expected. You alright, Sport? I'm quite alright, Grandpa. Though it is quite a predicament I've been putting myself in. This is not. Wait. I'm speaking intellectually inclined. More so. More than I've ever spoken, using words I don't fully understand. My arithmetic skills have quite improved. This one's made me smarter. Uh-huh. You want to come back inside? I would like that very much. Where's the man gonna walk over? Him going to actually bend down and bring his hand out. Deku stepping onto it, as Mina does try to ask where Zuko is. As Deku does jump off his hand and land on the couch. Mina is going to look down. Oh my god. This is not funny. Are you Oh my god, what is that? I don't know. However, Deku's going to sit down. Him with his feet dangling off the side as Mina does sit there. Her right now going to bring her hand down, asking him, so is that like, how does that one feel? This one feels quite strange. Though it doesn't have very many physical capabilities, it seems my IQ has gone up over 100 points. What does all that mean? I'm smarter is this one. Now, Ken currently does a walk over. Him going to actually bring his hand down, and currently Deku's going to turn his head. Him seeing the largest cook he's ever seen in his entire life. As right now he does this, some of his eyes widen. The little bug eyes. And Deku does this, so grab it. Right now, Ken gonna let go of it as Deku, he doesn't actually watch it fall forward to the side, and Deku does fall with it. Currently, Ken turning to Mina. Him asking her if she's okay. I'm fine. Um, though, do we have any ice cream? I'll get you a bowl. Though, you two were careful, weren't you? We were, just, it was an accident. You two've got to be more careful. We can figure a few things out. Maybe teach you a few things. I know it will help you. Quite a lot. Now, currently Deku is going to sit there. Him sitting on a cookie and breaking off chunks of it to bite into. As for Deku, he's trying to think about what to do. And it doesn't come back to him. Things he could have done earlier that made things better. Assess the threat, go after it accordingly, and try and figure things out. Try and find out which ones would be the best for the situation. And Deku, his mind is currently racing with ideas. Things he could do, things he can try. A cool gun like Gramps had. A blaster made from the laser beam of a alien like that? Or alien robot? That would be cool, right? Or no, 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 no. No, wait. Those things can fly. So, a flying bike. Oh my god, that'd be amazing. Though, how would he design that? Now, Deku's just there somewhat wondering. As right now, Deku, whenever he does gonna finally hear the beeping, he does have his belly full with a giant cookie. However, right now Deku does so I'm gonna sit there. Him leaning backwards and trying to think. Oh man, that hurt his head. You alright? I'm fine, just Deku bring his hand down. Him throwing up his leg and now grabbing the cookie he is sitting on, pulling it out as right now it has been crushed. Oh man. Now, with that being said, Vilgax, he does get a report. The drones have located the Omnitrix. They found its signal on Earth. And so far the current location they have, it is somewhere in Japan. And that is quite a bit. Though for right now, what are his orders? And the man, he does try to think. Vilgax has ideas, things to do, and what they can send out. And there currently is one idea he does have. One very interesting one. However, there actually is the next morning. Deku, he does lay there in his bed, as Ken is going to knock on the door, and at least try to tell Deku about how they're going to be heading out. Now, Deku doesn't want to jump up, and Grandpa does going to inform Deku over breakfast about a few things. They're going to be heading out and trying to figure this all out. What they're going to do is simple. And once that does happen, he wants Izuku to understand. They're going to take his training more seriously and hopefully get him on a plumber's assignment. There's a few going around, and some he may actually like. And that is where things are right now. As Gramps is going to pack up the RV and head out with Mark. Now, Deku and Mina do, so I'm going to sit there, talking about where they might be heading to. Now, with that being said, I do hope you guys enjoyed, and have an amazing day. I'll catch you guys in the next part.